Hey guys, welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. This episode we're going to keep going with some party banter, learning my party? Wow, great English. Learning about my party is perhaps a bit of phrasing. Oh shush, no one asked for your opinion, little cow. And yeah, I guess we're gonna get on our way if that doesn't take too long and head towards Redcliffe, I suppose. Now I'm gonna talk to Sandor and
it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick at your service once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden?
It's actually true. I can't
I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound?
It sounds
good? Yes?
Great. It's fun by me. You're free to stay. Just mind yourselves. Let me see your wares, Bodon. Have you been following us? What are you selling exactly?
Wonderful. Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
You're welcome.
It won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Oh, that's right. He tampers with weapons and stuff. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, I'm not done. I'll sell you some
If there's
stuff.
anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Absolutely. Let me see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Fuck shit, just want to sell you stuff. But hey, if you've got something on you, I'm happy to have a look. What do we got, by the way? Okay, so Alice didn't steal all my lesser health poultices. It's good to know. How expensive is your stuff, Badon? Oh my god. A chastity belt. Wow. I think we should get that for Flemeth, actually. Oh, lump charcoal. Here, Morrigan, for you. I shouldn't say that. I like when I go, hey, it's a backpack. It only increases my inventory by 10. That's cruel. Holy crap, it's expensive. And Sandal.
Hello.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
Yeah. What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
Oh wow,
There
he's
you
happy.
have it.
Okay, I want some enchanting done. I guess.
Enchantment!
Enchantment is right. Oh shit. What? I have no items to enchant. Yay! That's good to know. Thanks. Oh, it looked like such fun too. Oh well, I guess better luck next time. Sure. All enchantable items in the party inventory, including those currently equipped, can be upgraded by an enchanter. Well, apparently I don't have any. Oh well. Oh, Morrigan's got her own little, well-crafted little hut over here, I dare say. I mean, come on. She's reading some scrolls in her spare time. Wow, you really know how to make a nice joint. Although, where'd you get the cloth from?
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something, although I don't know that I really have much more to ask
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Krobkari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could if you wanted to. I'm curious, what's wrong with that fine Olivia B? It's my favourite way of knowing you.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question.
Why
Where
is it
else would you
curious?
picture me?
That's actually
For
a
many
fair point.
years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed? What, in the wilds? Is that what you mean? Sorry, I'm just getting comfortable in my chair. I get restless legs.
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
That's true. I wish I could see Faelyn's face during a lot of these conversations instead of always staring at the other person. Can't I have like a bit of to and fro? You must have looked quite the fool. Very daring. That sounds like you. I can just imagine. Were you hurt?
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Only once was I accused of being a witch of the
God, look at your
wilds,
skinny
and
arm.
that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me.
Lol.
I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking. What happened to the poor man? I'm supposed to be surprised you're a good liar?
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I have no idea. I'm not human. Oh, that's the perfect response. Touching like a handshake? Were you upset by all the bad touching?
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not
boy.
understand it all, truth be told,
Wow,
but then
that's
I
a hard
gave
life.
up long ago any hope of doing so.
I
When I
suppose.
returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Yet here you are. You can go back if you like. I guess the joke's on you then. Well, I'm glad it worked out this way at least.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Yes. Although there's more things I can ask you, so don't get too far away from me, Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something, as per
If you
usual.
must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact.
Not
The
surprised.
Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I should kill them. Fun? You found it fun? I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed.
Naturally.
And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Oh dear. Plymouth used you as bait. Wow.
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Don't you regret hurting any of those men at all? What exactly is an apostate? I probably thought you were dangerous. With good reason. Do you still think that was fun? They got what they deserved.
Is it true, then, that given enough time, the prisoner will learn to love the cell?
No.
The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the circle of magi as apostates.
Correct.
And apostates could become maleficarum,
Apparently.
evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations.
That's the weak way
It
out.
may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Meaning what? We'll fight you to the end? Have you no responsibility to those around you? Circle is not quite what you picture. I agree completely.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Nope. I ain't done with you. Stop trying to end our conversation
wish of me?
abruptly. Did I just say she disapproves? God, I hope not.
If you must.
Is Falmouth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
An old woman, a powerful Malefica. Unless you're bat. Human? I don't like any of these options. She's not a Malefica, but she is powerful. Human? She doesn't seem very human.
Oh, she certainly was human.
Was.
Once.
Can get rid of
Tell me,
word.
how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
Nothing, actually. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Ah, I see. That does explain much.
It does?
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
Absolutely, it sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time
should
when
we get Liliana
Flemeth
to
was
sing it?
young and beautiful. A fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long was this? Yes, I've heard that part. Not true then?
No, quite true, but this part only. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity.
She was married?
In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife. And Osen agreed.
No! He sold his wife to another man?
The life of a bard is a poor one,
So?
and love fades in the wake of hunger.
Oh my god.
It was Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Wait, what?
All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
No doubt. But wasn't she now married to a... So she truly loved Osen then? No, she couldn't have. She spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid.
Oh my god.
There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Of course Thomas would say that, no. Which? She never invaded, or he never defeated her? Even my people have heard of Cormac. I've never heard of Cormac. Have I heard of Cormac? I don't think so.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac.
What?
Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people,
Oh.
and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero.
Of course.
Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the
Wow.
great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Well, if she's in the wilds, she might not know the origin of it. Do you believe her version? How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long? Legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters. Aren't abominations usually insane horrors? Interesting story. Thank you. It all sounds like hogwash.
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories.
I can see
But
that.
on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
How is it that she's still...
The demon within
survived?
her has transformed her into
More.
something else.
Yes.
An abomination, perhaps some would say. I
But
know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find
Yeah,
her.
well, that's the problem, isn't it? So legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters?
You ask if I have sisters?
Yes.
I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters,
Oh.
if they existed.
Okay.
So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
So you might have sisters. What happened to them? Did they die? Is that why she refuses to tell you of them? Interesting. Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters.
All of
They
them?
say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds
And
and
killed
ate
them?
their hearts. It
Oh
may
my
be
God.
true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one.
Oh my god.
Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Oh god. I can't see that happening, but oh god. Aren't abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true?
That's a
There are
good
more
point.
things in this world and the next
Yeah.
than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her.
I think she figures it out by Inquisition, but sure. An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment
I'm seeing more
than
flair,
I,
but yeah.
you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
Okay. There is nothing really to say about her. I love her. What else do you want to know?
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more.
Aw,
I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth.
I'm sorry.
But it matters not. Let us move on.
I didn't mean to cut you off so abruptly like that. Hey, you approve! How's my relationship going with Morrigan, BT dubs? Character record. What's that supposed to be? C. Morrigan. Oh, right, everyone in the party. Here. +8. Yeah, I must have gotten a negative figure, I think. Maybe. She's -8. Liliana. Oh, it's Cullywally. Oh, we're at full approval. Booyah. 100% friendly. Liliana. Oh, yeah, we're neutral. +2. Stan. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Completely 0. And Alistair. Ooh, we're at +21. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Thanks. Can you actually teach
What
me
do
now?
you wish of me?
Actually, you said something about might be able
If
to
you must.
teach me.
By others, do you mean yourself?
Yes. Possibly, yes. I am considering it.
Then I shall teach you what I can whenever we are in camp.
We're in camp!
Provided you have the will to even make the attempt, that is.
We're in camp now. Why, I can be a shapeshifter? I'm sorry, how do I find that? Is that here? No, that's not the screen I want. How can I see, like, specializations? Where's that screen? That's that screen. And then, here. No? I'm so confused. There was something on this side that had the specializations. I'm confusing myself, I think. Never mind. But hey, I can possibly be a shapeshifter. I don't know where I'd want to be, but options. Options are awesome. What about those personal questions? I don't remember whether I wanted to do those. Sten, what up?
Why are we stopping?
To sleep, eat, chill. I think we should talk for a moment. Working together. I think I should get to know you. Let's just get a few things straight.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Wow. Do you have, like, epic stamina or something? I need to know if I can trust you at my back. What's your hurry? Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks. Actually, that's really important.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
I've never seen a canary before. Tell me about your people. You said you were in the army.
No.
I was expecting that.
Get used to disappointment. People
Lol.
are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Wow. You said you were in the army.
I am.
Have you ever fought in a war? What made you decide to become a soldier? I don't think it's going to answer all my questions, to be honest.
Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresod.
Oh, that's right.
I did not choose to be who
He's
I
a
am any
canary.
more than you did.
Sorry, I forgot for a second. Yes. Why were Canaries and soldiers here?
The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Kunari. We are how my people know the world.
Doesn't that make your view of things a little skewed?
Compared to what?
Well, good question.
What does anyone truly know of the world? The world changes. We change. The Antam observe what we can, just as you do.
Okay. Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, elf.
Wow, I don't go around calling you Canary. What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
Okay, so the Canary don't come from the islands?
We do now.
Where did you come from before?
Somewhere else.
Can you be more specific? I'm always bad about answering questions.
Generally. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Okay. Fair enough. True. Let's go. I'm done.
As you wish.
I don't get anything from you. Plus for approval through all of that struggle. Wow, I'm surprised. Who else have we got here? Cow. I don't really seek conversation with cows. Leliana. Hello, my dear. Oh, you've got some instruments about you and it's... Holy shit, is that cheese? Is that cheese? That's a big wheel of cheese.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescending? How so? Yes, they tend to be self-righteous.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain.
But why?
They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen.
Oh.
He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Okay. I don't really want the Maker looking in on me anyway. What did you say to them? I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry. But you must earn the Maker's blessing. What did you say to them?
What can I say to them? What they believe is what the Chantry says, and the Chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe
No.
I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
Wow, these guys are so abrupt at finishing conversations.
Yes? Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
I know that was a bit harsh. You just don't seem to belong in a cloister. You know, a beautiful, charming woman like yourself. Sanctimonious, preachy, like all other Chantry zealots. They don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they? Well, they might, but...
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique. Because then, they were forbidden. And
Yeah.
forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Indeed, you would have loved that, Leliana. So, what about your fruit? Is it forbidden? Oh, I can't say that. That's what they say.
I did not take those vows that the initiates took. Vows of poverty,
Chastity.
chastity, among others. The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
You're a spy. Why can't you just say as much? Oh, +2. Wow, that's tough. Is there anything else?
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
You're a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Tell me about Darkspawn. We'll go with that.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
She says it quite so succinctly. I like it. Know any stories from Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories.
That they
I
do.
shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Go ahead. That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Continue, please. I saw that coming. No, I did not.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney.
Cool.
Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney.
Oh dear.
But Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed.
Yeah, but
The
she
crowd
bested
cheered
him.
for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Oh my god! I was hoping for a happy ending.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
That was a terrible story. Why would you tell me something that sad? Oh, Liliana, I only do things with happy endings. I refuse to read anything that doesn't have a happy ending. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone.
Oh dear.
Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Ah, Flemeth. Morrigan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend?
Yes.
Flemeth, the devourer of men?
Yes.
Flemeth, mother of witches?
Yes.
Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
Yes. She didn't really introduce herself as such. She looked like your average old woman. They probably had the same name.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Tell me the whole story, please.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's
Trust me, she gets that
first
hair
snow,
back by 3.
and
Actually by
eyes
2.
as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
So this is the version that's more publicly decried. What happened then? Ooh, the plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes.
Oh my god!
Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men.
Well, they
The
betrayed
last
her.
of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches,
So I
who
hear.
even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Well, there's only one, actually. Tell me about Aveline again. No, once was enough. There was another story I wanted to hear. No, I'm pretty good, actually. Let's just go. Yeah? Anybody else? No, that just leaves my sweet honey buns. Hey, Alistair. I'm gonna save. Just to be safe. Hey, Alistair.
Yes?
Oh boy, don't give me that face again. You can go get cleaned up. I'll call when dinner's ready. Would you like to take a walk around camp with me? What? She walks funny. Are you picking? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh. I don't mind that. It's the erect penis, you can see that bothers me. it just ruins the structural beauty. Why are you inching away? Can't you just stare for a little longer? Oh my god, she just runs back to camp. Oh, that's kind of cute. What is with all his male genitals? Oh my god. These skin textures are going to be the death of me. So, now that you're all cleaned,
Yes?
would you like to take a walk around camp with me? Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, we just sit down and chill. That's so sweet. It's a stellar sky, unfortunately. Ooh, he's looking at you. Aww. Oh, them feels. That's so sweet. Gotta love these mods. Aww. I'm pretty sure that's it, unless you got some talkies we could do.
Yes?
Leaning closer to him and... Oh, what the heck, let's kiss him on the cheek again. I'm all for kissing him on the cheek. Oh, hey Cullywully. In the background. Aww. Anyway, no, I did want to see if you had extra talking options.
Yes?
Yes, I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
I got nothing else. No, I'm good, actually. I've done all I can with you, which is really disappointing because that means I can't get my approval rating up any higher. Plus 21. Anyway, we'll work with that. And that looks like that's it for this campsite. That lighting looks very unfavorable for your eyes. Oh, there we go. It's much more pleasant. And I think that's all we're going to do for today. I know it's probably... I mean, I'm not sure how long I'm doing this, but it's probably a short episode. I just want to finish up the camp interactions this episode, and then next step we'll head out and see what kind of trouble we can get up to, because let's face it, we're really good at attracting trouble. Thanks so much for watching this ep, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.